Hi, I'm Alan Green, a professor here in the Rossier School of Education. Over the past 8 years, I have had the pleasure of teaching one version of this course or another in the EDL program, while also fulfilling my role as a practitioner faculty member here at USC. Not only do I teach about power, diversity, and equity, I embrace the challenges and opportunities I encounter working with others as we try to enact our university's commitment to equity and inclusion. In addition to being a faculty member in Rossier, I am a faculty in residence living on campus with my family in one of our residential colleges, embracing DEI among our awesome first-year undergraduate students. I am also an advisor to USC President Carol Folt as the university's faculty athletic representative, helping to ensure well-being for our 600 USC Trojan student athletes. So in addition to teaching one of the sections of EDUE 700 and 703, I get to practice what I teach. Based on more than 20 years of teaching and practice in a variety of organizational settings, I would like to introduce a systems thinking model that I have found enhances the way we think about the pursuits of educational justice and equity. The model is known as CHAT, or Cultural Historical Activity Theory. In this video, I will begin to explain what CHAT is, why it is important to include with your other materials you have gained being in this program and this course, as well as how you can apply it to your own practice as educational leaders dedicated to creating more equity and justice through education. Cultural Historical Activity Theory, known as CHAT, is a lens designed to help us dig deeper into our everyday interactions. It is a way to analyze the historical background and unseen cultural dynamics among groups of people as they work together. CHAT can be used by anyone, such as a neighborhood organization that is trying to improve recreational opportunities within a community, or amongst educational leaders that are managing a series of complex DEI-related activities. There are very formal, theoretical ways to use CHAT involving years of study and research, and there are more straightforward, practical ways that can be used for analysis. We will take a straightforward approach simply by labeling each of the essential components of our activities and questioning them as far as their intent versus the reality of the interactions with each other. This is done in order to flesh out the hidden contradictions of our work and attempt to resolve the challenges that come to the surface. Now, let's take a look at a simple application of the model for your use. I understand that answering big picture questions may feel both empowering and overwhelming at the same time. However, I have found that by using CHAT as a heuristic tool to ask big picture questions as we plan the intermediate steps, we can achieve those outcomes we all desire. To aid our reflection, we will be guided by the application of a model developed by Clay Spinuzzi that focuses on the key elements that are generated within an activity in the process of asking and answering specific questions designed to transform our practice. As we apply the CHAT model to the example, we must first look at the 7 essential components of the activity model. We have the subject, tools, object, outcome, rules, community, and divisions of labor. Together, these components make up our cultural historical activity system model that is used to trace an activity in order to improve it, particularly when the activity does not work as intended. Let me provide a simple hypothetical example. Let's say there's a group of high school students who want to have a car wash in order to raise money for an end-of-the-year trip. Looking at the different components of our chat model, we see the subjects would consist of students themselves, the club advisor, and the customers whose cars that will be washed to raise money. The tools would represent everything from hoses, water, soap, buckets, towels, and maybe even the signs to advertise and attract the customers. The object, which is a car wash, and our outcome is to raise money for the trip. Well, most activities are only viewed from the basic subject, tools, object, and outcome level. But the chat model helps us analyze the deeper aspects of the activity that often silently influences our outcomes. On the lower level, we have norms or rules, which may establish how much each car will be charged, or even the level of detail in which the cars will be washed. The community might include more than the subjects that were already directly involved. Because of challenges that arise, we may need to think more broadly of for example, a local car wash business down the street that is impacted by the fact that they are losing money. Or it could be other groups of students or even customers that had initially been excluded from the car wash. Then we have the divisions of labor, which explores who's responsible for what may be traditional roles in the activity. This could be seniors, who are the ones who get to go out in the street and wave signs and recruit people to come in, versus the freshmen or other underclassmen responsible for washing cars, getting wet, and cleaning up afterwards. By mapping the activity, we can pay attention to any of the unintended consequences and contradictions that may come up. For example, that there aren't many customers who show up, or there aren't even enough volunteers to come and wash cars to raise the money for the trip. But even though this is just a simple example, you can see here how we are able to dig deeper and solve problems when necessary by using the chat model. To summarize, chat provides an excellent framework for practitioners to engage in inquiry about their organizational context. By paying particular attention to the ways that people engage collectively towards particular objectives, we can better understand our current landscape to imagine equity-minded futures. In the next video, we will turn to discuss how to make sense of what is revealed about your organizational context as you put chat to practice. We'll talk about contradictions, how and why they arise, and how to redesign your practice to maximize equity.